All right, shalom, 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 Yasha Allah. This is Brother Yawanah.
This is Brother Adrian.
All right, with the flaming fire of Israel. Want to start off first and foremost, giving all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh,
Howell
Ba'ashem,
Bahashim.
Yahweh Shah. All right. And the topic we're gonna be getting on is Flaming Fire Friday. We back with another Flaming Fire Friday through the Spirit. All right. Just got done with camp. We're gonna be breaking down Proverbs, the second chapter. We're gonna continue doing these chapter breakdowns on late night lessons, Flaming Fire Fridays, whenever we get a chance. And then we got the Sabbath classes on tomorrow on Saturday. So we're gonna go ahead and hop right on to it. Let's start at Proverbs chapter 2, verse 1.
Oh, okay. All right. This is Proverbs chapter 2, verse 1.
Right.
It says, "My son, if thou wilt receive my words."
Right. So my son, if thou wilt receive my words, right? Can you read?
"And hide my commandments with thee."
Right. So hiding is keeping the commandments within you, right? Doing righteously. All right. So receiving the words of the Lord. You got Jake, they can't even receive, all they want to receive is folly and madness. They want to receive their music, they want to receive social media, they want to receive anything, but they don't want to receive the Most High's words and keep the commandments. I got a precept with that, and it's Proverbs chapter 3, verse 1. And it says, "My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments." Right? So don't forget the laws. Keeping them within you. All right? Receiving the words, man. Not just listening to it, but receiving it, hearkening unto it, and doing them. All right? Because what did James say? He said, "Be ye therefore not doers of the word." It's like here. "Be ye therefore not hearers of the word only, but doers also," roughly paraphrase. All right. "Be ye therefore doers of the word." It's like it. All right. So you gotta do the word, receive the Lord's words and hide His commandments with you. All right. Keep them within you. Right. Meditate there in the book of the law, day and night.
Day and night.
Right. Can you read? Yeah.
It says, "So that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom."
That you incline your ear unto wisdom. All right. Like we say, you got Jake, they want to listen to music. They care about everything else. They incline their ear to the damn news in the morning. They incline their ear to what anybody else got to say. They incline their ear to gossiping and nonsense. But they don't incline their ear unto the word of the Lord. All right. They don't want to hear what the Lord got to say. All right. They don't want to hear wisdom and knowledge and understanding. All right. They want to just do folly and madness. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 4. This is a precept. It says, "Hear ye the word of the Lord, O house of Jacob, and the families, O the house of Israel." All right. Jeremiah 10:1 also says, "Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel." All right. So hear the word. All right. Hear these words. Hear wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Apply your heart, your mind unto understanding. Jake want to apply their heart to rap music, and they want to make it out the hood, and they apply their mind to them writing raps, and they apply their mind to them playing video games, them 2K. All right, but they don't apply their mind to these to understand. All right, right, can you read?
And you was just saying this, and it says, "And apply thine heart to understanding."
Right, and apply your heart to understanding, your mind. Right, so you got to be willing to understand these things and keep them within you. All right, can you read?
"Yea, if thou criest after knowledge."
Yet, read that again.
It says, "Yet if thou criest after knowledge."
Yea, if thou criest after knowledge. You gotta cry after knowledge. All right. You got Jake, they crying because of their woman. They cry because of things in the world. All right. They long after things. They want things bad. They want to be rich and successful. But you're not crying after knowledge. You're not wanting after knowledge. All right. You're not wanting to get more and more knowledge and get builded up through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. So can you read?
It says, and it says, and lifted up thy voice for understanding.
Right, and lift up your voice for understanding. Ask questions. All right. That goes back to hearkening. That goes into inclining your ears, because when you incline your ears, you're gonna ask questions. You're gonna want understanding and more wisdom and knowledge. All right. And what did the scripture say? With all thy knowledge, get understanding. Roughly paraphrase. All right. Can you read?
It says, if thou seekest her as silver, and
Hmm.
searchest for her as for hidden treasures.
Right. So if thou seekest her as silver and searches for her as for hid treasures. So you gotta seek after this wisdom, this knowledge, like in understanding, like for silver and gold. You know, you got Jake in the world, they want to be the richest, they want the most money, they want the baddest car, all right, they want the biggest whip, all right, they want to do whatever they want to do based on how much money they got. They want the best clothes. All right. But the Lord says, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as for hidden treasures, you know the Most High, He compares the kingdom of heaven as a hidden treasure. Let me get that. That's Matthew chapter 13 and verse 44.
Come
And it reads, um, again, the kingdom of heaven, so like it says, again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in the field. Right? So the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hid in the field. Then which when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath and buyeth that field. Right? So it's like you sell all you have because you got that wisdom and that knowledge, and you're trying to get the kingdom. All right? That's how much it's like a hidden the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hid in the field. It's not for everyone. All right. You gotta be, the Most High gotta ordain you to find that treasure. The Most High gotta ordain you to find that. All right. You go to Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. The Most High ordained everything from the beginning of time.
on.
This is Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. For you to find that treasure, for you to find wisdom and knowledge and understanding, for you to get the kingdom of heaven, Proverbs 20 and 24, and it reads, man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? So the Lord got to ordain you to get this knowledge. He got to ordain you to get this wisdom. All right. So keep reading.
It says, then shalt thou understand.
Salaki, I got another precept. Salaki.
Oh, sorry.
This is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 15. Let's talk about wisdom. All right. Well, we'll start at 13. Get the context. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom and the man that getteth understanding, for the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. So wisdom is more precious than them money, which your oppressor on it, man. Wisdom is more precious than gold and silver and all these things that you can accumulate in this earth, man. All right. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Anything you can desire cannot even be compared to wisdom, all right, and knowledge, all right, and understanding, all right. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor, right? So that's what wisdom comes with. You have the length of days, and if you really got wisdom, you're gonna get honor, all right, and sometimes riches, all right. So Connor.
All right. Number 5.
But
It says,
also that's spiritual too, because in the left hand wisdom, so like I want to make a point. Left hand wisdom, when you read verse 16, says the length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. That's spiritual too, because you got left hand knowledge too. You got left hand wisdom, and left hand wisdom makes you have riches and honor among the people. But you know the right hand is spiritual and it has length of days. All right, everlasting life. All right, so that's spiritual. That's a spiritual. Like you say, scriptures have two-edged swords to them. All right, but keep read.
oh, okay. Number 5. It says, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord,
Right,
and find the knowledge of God.
right. So then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God, and that's what Jake need to get and Eve need to get. They need to find the knowledge of the Most High. And where is the knowledge at? Precept among precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, throughout the scriptures. All right, and wisdom. All right, but the Most High got to sup with you. Let me get Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 13.
Come.
And it's about that. Let me read verse 2 and 6 again. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Right. So the Lord, Salakia, that was before 6. We was on verse 5. Salakia. Then shalt thou understand and fear the Lord and find the knowledge of God. Right. So that you got to understand the fear of the Lord and the knowledge of God. Let's get Proverbs chapter 9 verse 13. Salakia, not 9 verse 13, but 8 verse 13. Salakia, Proverbs chapter 8 verse 13. And it reads, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogance in the evil way, and the fourth mouth do I hate. So if you fear the Lord, you're going to hate evil. You're going to hate wickedness. You're going to hate to do wicked things because you understand it's a judgment that comes with it. All right. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. All right. So you gotta walk that way. All right. If you fear the Lord, you're going to hate evil things. You're going to hate wickedness. Are you going to walk in righteousness? Because you know it's a judgment that comes with that. I got another precept, Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. And it reads, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. When you start fearing the Lord, when you start saying, hey, start hating wickedness, start hating unrighteousness, all right? When you start really fearing the Lord and the power of Yahweh, all right, in the name of his only begotten son, Yahweh, you start realizing that you can't continue in sin because the Lord can judge you immediately. The wages of sin is death. You playing with fire, all right? Some more precepts I want to give. Salaki. Salaki, bear with me, Israel. Right, this is James chapter 1, verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Right? If you lack knowledge, you got to ask from the Most High also. If you lack wisdom, you got to ask from the Most High. All right. But what the Lord say, verse 6, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. Right, so you can't be just playing games. You can't be, well, the Lord might not be hearing my prayers. If you want to pray for wisdom, that's why the Lord, we're going to go on in this chapter about seeking wisdom. Are you supposed to be seeking wisdom and knowledge and understanding? All right. It's pleasant unto your soul. All right, we're going to eventually get to it. So read verse 6. So like
verse 6. Okay. It says, for the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding.
Right, and that's what I wanted to and that's the precept for that right there that I just brought out. So lucky, I already brought it out. What I wanted to get is another precept I want to bring out too though. So you gotta pray for wisdom, all right? And because that comes from the Most High. All right, let's read it again though, just to show James chapter 1, verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith and nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like the wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. When Proverbs 2 and 6 says, for the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. So you got to pray. If you ain't got all wisdom, you ain't got answers and questions, pray for those for wisdom and knowledge and understanding. All right? So you got to be doing those type things. So like it. It's another precept. Just go ahead and bring that out, Aki.
Okay, 7.
Yeah.
It says he layeth.
Actually, I got a precept. I got one more it just be popping up in my head. I got up. This is Job chapter 12, verse 12. This is Job chapter 12, verse 12. It says, with the ancient is wisdom, and length of days understanding. With him is wisdom and strength. He have counsel and understanding. Right? So the Most High, he's the one that gives wisdom, the ancient of days. Right, verse 14, behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man, and there cannot be opening. Right, so the Most High don't want you to get wisdom. He sets you up, and you can never get it. Behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up. Also he sendeth them out, and they overturn the earth. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. The people that are deceived that can't get this, the Most High is controlling. All right, the people that are deceived, like we said, the Most High is controlling. The deceiver, the Most High is controlling. All right, the Most High controls all that. Right, so he's the one that gives wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Right, can you read?
It says, he layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous.
Right, so he layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. So he gives wisdom for the righteous. All right, only the Lord can give you that wisdom, though. All right, I got a precept. It's Job chapter 32, verse 8, and it reads, but there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding. Right? So there's a spirit in man, and the Most High gives you understanding. All right? You got to have that spirit that the Most High give you. Great men are not always wise. So you could be the greatest man in the world, but if the Most High ain't dealing with you, he's not dealing with you. He's not giving you this knowledge and this wisdom. Neither do the aged understand judgment. Neither do aged men understand judgment all the time. No matter, you could be the oldest man, but you can't understand judgment because you don't have wisdom from the Lord. All right. So Con, some precepts I want to get with that. Salakia. I got one more precept I want to bring up. So bear with me. Ecclesiastes. Oh, that one, Salakia. I got one more precept I gotta bring out. Let me find it. Bear with me, Israel. This is Daniel chapter 1, verse 17. All right. As for these 4 children, God gave them knowledge and skill, all learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. Right? So the Most High is the only one that can give you that knowledge. All right? The Most High can only give you that wisdom. All right? The Most High is the only one that can do that. All right? So come. All right, so bring out what you have.
Okay. It says, he is a buckler to them that walk upright.
Right, so he's a buckler to them that walk upright. That's why we trust in the Lord. All right, that's why we trust in the Lord, man. And his staff protects us, man. All right. So he's a buckler to them that walk uprightly, that walk righteously. Right, can you read?
It says, he keepeth the paths of the judgment and perceiveth the way of the saints. Preserveth the way of his saints.
And preserveth the way of his saints. All right. So the Most High preserves his saints. He preserves the people. The Most High, like we just read earlier, the Most High, he ordains if you get this knowledge. He ordains if you ordain it. He ordains if you are his saints. All right. Which, the saints are the children of Israel, but really it's even the elect. All right. If you really get deep into it. All right. So let's get Psalm chapter 37, verse 28. But altogether, all Israel is going to be saved. All Israel, we know not they're going to get beamed up in the chariots, but all Israel's going to be born back into the kingdom. All right, this is Psalm chapter 37, verse 28. For the Lord loveth judgment and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. Right? And the righteous, Salakia, the righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. Right? The mouth of the righteous speak of wisdom, and the tongue talketh of judgment. Right? So wise men, they know how to judge. Oh, not all old men understand judgment, like we just read earlier. All right. So Khan. That's it on that. That's all the precepts I want to get on. Just showing you that the Most High preserves the ways of the saints. The Most High preserves the saints. He's already preserved them from the beginning of time. He already chose them. You read John 16:44. No man can come to the Father unless the Father drawed him. All right. So we don't even have to bring that one out, but just bringing it out just to show Israel for precept's sake. So go ahead.
It's number 9. It says, "Then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equality and
What? And equity.
and equity, Slakia, and yea every good path."
Right. So once you he that keepeth the path of judgment and preserveth the way of the saints. So like then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. So once you start getting this wisdom, this knowledge, and fearing the Lord, you're gonna understand judgment. All right, you're gonna understand righteousness. All right, in every good path and the things the Lord wants you to do, you're gonna understand. You're gonna want to walk like the prophets walk. You're gonna want to walk in like men that walk righteously. All right, this is a precept. Lock you. Get it. So lock you. Let me find it. It's in Job. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. All right. So you gotta walk, you gotta look for the old paths, the good ways, the ways of righteousness, what the prophets was doing. All right, what Israel was doing when they was keeping the commandments. All right. So you gotta do those things, man. All right. Can you read?
Okay.
And then and you know Matthew chapter 7 verse 12. We might as well bring that out too. All right, for that good path. All right, Matthew chapter 7 verse 12, and it reads, well, verse 13: Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way which leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Right, so that's a narrow gate. It's a straight path, all right, a righteous path, all right. So that's a good path that you need to walk in, all right. So keep reading.
It says, when wisdom enter into thine heart,
right,
and knowledge is pleasing unto thine soul,
and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, right. So knowledge is and it's pleasant unto Jake's soul, because Jake got it in him. Eve got it in them. All right, it's in them, these paths, but only if the Lord open you up to do it is the only way you're gonna get that. All right. This is Romans chapter 10, verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. So we have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge, which is why when you see in verse 10, when wisdom entereth into thine heart and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. So we got that zeal of God, and when we find it, it's pleasant unto our soul because our soul needed it. All right? Because we got that spirit on us. That's why Jake go to church. That's why Jake think they doing righteous and do all these other things. All right? So, Khan, you keep reading.
Okay, 11. It says, discretion shall perceive thee. Oh, it's like this discretion shall perceive thee.
Preserve thee.
Preserve thee, and understanding shall keep thee.
Right, so discretion is going to preserve you. All right? Being secret. All right? Keeping this knowledge to you. Like the Lord says, hide my commandments with thee. All right? And understanding shall keep thee. Because what the Lord said, with all that wisdom and all that, so like with all that knowledge, get understanding, right? Keep reading.
To deliver thee from the way.
Hey, speak up. You're a little bit far away from the camera, I think, or something.
Okay.
I don't know if my thing turned down, but I'm not hearing you like that.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay, better now. Way better.
Okay, it says to deliver thee from the way of the evil man.
right? To deliver you from the way of the evil man, Esau, all right? To deliver you from the evil man, right?
From the man that speaketh forward things.
Right, the one that speaketh forward things like in God we trust. All right, that caused the Israelites Negroes and they destroyed it. That placed us as thugs when they the biggest thug on the earth. All right. And got a lot of people, simple people that say, oh, well, that's not Esau right there. But we know through the scriptures that's the evil man. All right. I don't have to go through these same precepts every time and break it down to people. So, if you don't understand that, look in the past videos and find how Esau is the evil man and he's the wicked that the Bible speaks of. All right. Can you read?
It says, who leave the paths of uprightness.
Right. They left the path of uprightness. Right. Can you read?
To walk in the ways of darkness.
Right. So they leave the path of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness. All right. So let's talk about Esau, how he did, how the wicked love to do wickedly. All right. And that's talking about how Esau, they despise their birthright. All right. To walk in the ways of darkness. All right. To serve Satan. All right. Let me get some precepts with that.
Huh.
This is Job chapter 24, verse 13. These are they who rebel against the light. They know not the ways thereof, nor abide in the paths thereof. Right? So this talking about Esau. The murderer rising with the light killeth the poor and needy, and in the light is a thief. Right? So he wants to kill in the night. Right? And he rebels against knowledge and wisdom. That's why you can't teach an Edomite about this Bible. All right? The eye also of the adulterer waiteth for the twilight, saying, no eye shall see me, and disquiet of his face. Right. So he's secretive, man. He wait till the nighttime to do his dirt, and so that's what they doing right now. In the dark, they dig through houses which they had marked for themselves in the daytime. They know not the light, right? For the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. When the morning come, when Yahweh shall come, when the light come, right? Esau will be basically destroyed. All right. So it's the shadow of death for them when the morning comes, that morning star. All right. If one know them, they are in the terrors in the shadow of death, right? So if you're dealing with Esau, you in the terror of the shadow of death. All right. This is Job chapter 34 and verse 24. He shall break in pieces mighty men without number and set others in their stead. Right? So Esau, he gonna be shut down, man. He gonna be destroyed, man. All right. That's what the Bible says. Let me get a couple more precepts because there's numerous precepts on this. I want to thoroughly break it down. All right. Well, I'm trying to finish this chapter, so we can go ahead. We don't want it to be too long. It's gonna be a short Flaming Fire Friday. I get into a deep, how they hate light, but y'all get it. All right. So we're gonna bring out more precepts, but you just get that point that what we're talking about Esau leaving the paths of uprightness to walk in darkness, right? Can you read?
Okay. 14. It says, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the forwardness of wicked the
right.
wicked.
So look, they rejoice to do evil and delight in the forwardness of the wicked. They love being wicked. All right, they love wickedness, man. All right, can you read?
Whose ways are cracked and they
crooked.
Oh, sorry. Whose ways are crooked and they forward in their paths.
Right, so their ways are crooked, man. Then we say we gotta walk in the straight gate. All right, that straight way. All right, keeping the commandments, having the faith in the works. All right, but Esau, he's contrary to it. All right, he walks crookedly. All right, so keep read.
It says to deliver thee from the strange woman.
All right, so the strange woman is these other philosophies, these other religions. All right, you strange women. Let me get Proverbs chapter 23, verse 29, and it reads, "Who have woe, who have sorrow, who have contentions, who have babbling, who have wounds without cause, who have redness of eyes. They that they that tarry long at the wine." You know, wine is being drunk off the society. All right, he's read about that in Revelations. All right, how Babylon gives the wine to have everyone drunk with their wine. All right, they that go to seek mixed wine. Right. So look, you have you seeking mixed wine. You seeking other philosophies. All right. Look not thou upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth his color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright. Right? At the last it biteth like a serpent and stingeth like an adder. Right? So wine is going to bite like a serpent and stingeth like an adder. So what does this has to be talking about? It deals with other philosophies. All right, that mix wine. All right. Hey, thou shalt thine eyes shall behold strange women. So we talk about women here as philosophies. All right. And thine heart shall utter perverse things. Why? Because you're in these other philosophies, these other religions, uttering perverse things that's not of the Most High. All right. Yea, thou shalt be as he that lieth down in the midst of the sea, or as he that lieth upon the top of a mast. They have stricken me. Shall they say I was not sick? They have beat me, and I felt it not. When shall I wait? I will seek it yet again. All right, so Khan. We got more precepts. Sirach chapter 19, verse 2. Let me bring that out. This is Sirach chapter 19 and verse 2, and it reads, "Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away." Right, so wine is wine and women. Let's talk about on a carnal level, and it's also talking about spiritual level. All right, those other philosophies, man, will make men of understanding to fall away, and he that cleaveth to harlots will become imputed. Right, so you can't be playing with them other women, them other philosophies. All right, and that wine, getting drunk of that wine. All right, that America pushes out there. So Khan, let me get Revelation 17 to show y'all what I was talking about. It's Revelation chapter 17 and verse 2. Let's talk about Esau. This is talking about America. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have became drunk, have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Right? So they became drunk of the wine of her fornication. That's talking about Mystery Babylon. You keep reading down. All right. So Khan, I'm pretty sure we pretty much broke that part down. So I'm pretty sure that that broke that down. So Khan. So there you go. Keep reading.
Okay. It says, even from the stranger which flatter with her words.
Right, so that woman flatters you with her words, which we just rung out, and I believe Sirach 19 and 2. All right. So the stranger flatters you with their words, man. All right. You utter perverse things. All right. So that's because you dealing with other philosophy. You're drinking out of them tainted waters and not the living waters that the Lord told you to drink out of. All right, not the commandments and the statutes and righteousness. All right, but doing things that's not of your fathers. All right, which fulfills the curses in Deuteronomy 28:64. All right, that the Lord shall scatter you among all people, and there you should serve other gods which neither of thy fathers have known. All right.
Neither wood
and stone. Roughly paraphrasing on that one, but you can keep reading.
Okay. 17. It says, which forsaken the God of her youth.
Right. So, which forsake of the God of her youth. All right. You don't want to forsake the God of your youth like Esau did. All right. You don't want to forsake the God of your youth. Right. Keep reading.
And forgetteth the covenant of her God.
And forgetteth the covenant of her God. Right? Forgetting the covenant of Yahweh. All right? But the covenant was made with the Israelites. There's no you talking about Israelites here. All right, can you read?
It says, "For her house inclineth unto death."
Right. So going into the world, being a part of this world, being a part of Esau society, being a part of all these things, it inclines you to death. Right, can you read?
It says, "In her paths unto the dead."
Right, in your path, you end up dead, man. Or you get burned with that fire from those chariots and them nuclear missiles. Right, can you read?
It says, "None that go unto her
Right,
return again,
right,
neither take they hold of the paths of life."
right, of righteousness. The paths of righteousness.
Mine says paths of life.
Oh, you on verse 19. Salakia, my bad. Salakia, you good. Read that again, my bad. Salakia.
Okay. It
I'm
says,
messing up verses. Looking at something else. Bring it out again.
19, it says, "None that go unto her return again, neither take they hold of the paths of life."
Right, so if you go into the world, go back into the world, most likely you ain't gonna return into this truth, man. All right, you're not gonna be able to do it. All right, because the Lord can give you up to a reprobate mind. All right, you are forsaking the Most High. All right, so don't go in the world. Most time when you go into the world, you go into the Esau's philosophies. You go back into America, Babylon the Great, and you give up on the truth, man. You're not gonna take hold of the path of life no more. You done. All right, can you read?
It says, "That thou mayest walk in the way of good men."
Right, to walk in the way of good men, to seek that old path that we brought out earlier in Jeremiah 6:16. All right, to walk in the way of good men, walk in the way of the prophets, walk in the way of our right, you sisters, walk in the way of our righteous foremothers, man. All right, and you brothers, you Akims, you walk in the way of your forefathers, the righteous ones. Right, keep the commandments, do things righteously. I can read.
It says, "And keep the paths of the righteous."
Right, and keep the paths of the righteous, going into what we just saying, seeking the old path. Right, finding which way is good. Right, can you read?
It says, "For the upright shall dwell in the land,
Right.
and the perfect shall remain in it."
We brought that out in Psalms 37 earlier. All right. Can you read?
It says, "But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth."
Right.
It says, "And the transgressor shall be rooted out of it."
All right. So the wicked gonna be cut off. Esau's gonna be cut off, and their sin's gonna be rooted out of the world through force, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right. So let me see if I get one more precept of this. I'm gonna close out. This is Psalms chapter 104 and 35. And it reads, "Let the sinners be consumed out of the earth, and let the wicked be no more. Bless thou the Lord, O my God. So, O my soul, praise you the Lord." All right. So look, the sinners are going to be consumed out of the earth, and the wicked, these Edomites, they're going to be no more, man. After 1,000 years, they're going to be destroyed, according to the Bible. All right. And according to the Most High. All right. So Khan, right, this is Job chapter 18, verse 17, right? "His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the streets." Right? So Esau, you're gonna completely forget Esau, man. All right. You like, damn, where them Edomites went, man? Where them people that gave us hell? They ain't gonna be around, man. All right. They're gonna be driven. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. All right. It's crazy, man. People don't understand that. All right. We'll keep reading. "He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings." He's not going to be around here no more. All right. He's going to be destroyed. "They that come after him shall be astonished at his day, as they that went before were affrighted. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not God. Right. So that's what's coming to these Edomites, man. All right, that knoweth not God. What's another precept I wanted to get? But let me get Job. All right, this is Job chapter 30, verse 5. I'm just telling you about the white man, how they gonna be destroyed. All right, because they were from the beginning, they was trash, man. All right, they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valley, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Right. So the Edomites, they was the cavemen, man. When people come up with cavemen, when you watch the Flintstones, you don't ever see no black cavemen. Those were the Edomites. They was in the caves, man. They was dumb, man. All right. They dwelled in the cliffs of the valleys. All right. When you look at Donald Trump, come on, man. Look at this, man. I was looking at this earlier. So like you. Need screenshot this, man. Hold on, I'm screenshot. Slocky. Screenshot. Screen share acting up, it don't want to come up. That's weird. Yo, that's weird. I don't know what's going on. Esau don't want to let me screen share, man.
He playing around, man.
Yeah, they don't want me to get that one. Let me try one more time. See if I can get it up on the screen now. That's crazy, man. My screen share ain't even working. Ain't even let me click on it. Am I even showing up on the screen?
Yeah, you're on the screen.
That's weird, man. I don't understand. All right. All right, so Con. Well, I was gonna show a picture of Donald Trump, man. He looks exactly like a caveman, because they are the cavemans. But I can't get the screen share to work right, so I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with it. But you look up Donald Trump, the man look like a caveman. Y'all know what Donald Trump look like anyway. All right, verse 7. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. These Edomites, they was under bushes, man. They didn't have no houses. They didn't take baths. They were base men, like the scriptures say. All right. They were children of fools. Yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. Right. So they were viler than the earth, man. These men were nasty, disgusting. All right. But now these people have ever been reputed as nothing, like Second Ezra says in the 6th chapter, have begun to be to rule over us, man. All right. And the Lord is about to bring it to an end through the Spirit and the power. How about Shimon Shah? All right. But that was the Proverbs, the 2nd chapter breakdown. It was a brief breakdown. We really could have went into more, but hopefully brothers and sisters, Akim and Akwafa edified. We could have really went into more, but we just got out of camp. We got Sabbath class in the morning and another camp. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. So Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, brothers.
I want to end off giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. All right, and Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad.
Shalom.
And, peace and blessings. All right, to Israel, All right. Hopefully, like I said, brothers and sisters was edified, and you know they get some precepts that they didn't have before. If you did, you just enjoy watching. All right. But Shalom and Kwame Yasha Allah.
Kwame Yasha Allah.